Everybody's recording. Everybody and their mother is recording. And we're back, guys. Welcome to the Weebs Closet. My name is Nekko.
I'm Jakey.
And we're here to watch RWBY Season 2, Episode 9, Search and Destroy? I could have sworn I saw it. Yeah, Search and Destroy. We're going to have some Metallica up and running. Last episode we had the explanation of a little bit of the war.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like talking about like the individualism and the colors, hence why everybody has a name of color, whatever. Mm-hmm. Then we saw the aftermath of RWBY's fight with Cinder. They slapped her in the booty and said that was a good job, and then told her not to talk about it, which she immediately did.
It's RWBY, come on. She cannot keep her mouth shut. But she also hinted at knowing where the hideout was, Torchwick's little gang of rebels.
Gangrunos.
But yeah, I guess that sort of makes sense because last episode I was talking about how Oz felt a little bit off, almost like he had like ulterior motives. But in context, it sort of makes sense that like he was really picking up on what RWBY was saying, and so that kind of gave a different vibe between those two characters.
It's like I like they were in the same sync. It's like, yeah. I know that you didn't get it from this fight, but you somehow have that information, so I'll take it in consideration. Yeah, and whereas Good Witch was like this was not in the transcript, or that Yeah, no, but I get it, and I think that's exactly what they were trying to allude to. It's more of like. And especially in the in the scenes after where he's like, I know that you're gonna break the rules anyway, so might as well just bend it. It feels like I think he's already been there before. Maybe he may have had. I mean, you have to assume that he has been a headmaster for quite a while. So like, I'm pretty sure that he may have had going back or comparing it to Harry Potter. Dumbledore was really, really, really non-lenient with Harry, where he was like Harry Potter will be breaking the rules, and this guy's like,
no, that is being lenient.
That's lenient. I thought lenient was
not like non-lenient would be strict.
Okay, then yeah,
because he was like a good headmaster, but he was just like Harry, like we know Harry's destiny, just let him do his own thing. Type of thing. That's sort of the same situation here. So
I feel like that's the case, and again, but throwing it out there, like I feel like Dumbledore had older students. I.e., he had James, which is the dad, and then he probably had as well Voldemort, where he kind of had the same freedom as Harry did, but then obviously turned into the other way. So like I feel like he just probably has the experience where it's like sometimes you just gotta let them do whatever they do, and hey, it might help out in my benefit, this is the case right here. But with that said, I got nothing else to say. You got anything to say? Join us in our Twitter. Subscribe, follow us. I don't know what you do in Twitter, but just find us there. We got our Twitch channels. He's actually streaming more often than I do. So we might actually stream eventually together Pokemon Unite. Hey,
yeah, I really like that game. It's a good game.
It's actually pretty fun. But with that said, we also have plans for the Patreon. That's coming out soon. I don't know when, but we're still planning for it. We're still working on the kinks.
Honestly, by the time that this is up,
most likely we'll have it up and running. So by all means, hey, check it out. We have it somewhere here.
There's a link in
the description
in the internet for it.
Yes.
Indeed.
But that said, watch the show and then come back to us. But with that said, in 3, 2, 1, and let's play.
The loudest part of this episode is the Rooster Teeth intro.
Legit. They want you to know that it was Rooster Teeth. Oh, I mean, you already saw it probably. The soundtrack is already out. I mean, so by all means, it was dumb to all recording it, but it was fun. I don't know. It was a funny thing.
It was a good time.
Yeah. So expect the actual episode for these soundtracks to come a little bit more on par as to when it was supposed to release. So probably right after you guys finish watching this season with us, we'll most likely be tossing it out there for you guys rather than waiting halfway through the other season.
No big.
Yeah, because that's technically I feel bad they had to wait all the way through the other season just to get it. And season 3 or volume 3 has its own wardrobe remnants that we need to watch too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Professor Oobleck?
Yes, I'm afraid those bags won't be necessary, girls, seeing as you've opted to shadow a Huntsman on what is now essentially a reconnaissance mission. I can assure you we will not be establishing a single base of operations. Rather, we will be traversing several miles of hazardous wasteland and making camp in any defendable locations we may stumble upon. I've packed all of our essentials myself, brought the air course, and ready the airship.
Wait, so you went through my clothes?
Dr. Oobleck. I didn't earn the PhD for fun. Thank you very much. Come now, children. According to my schedule, we are already 3 minutes behind schedule.
Well, all right then. Looks like we're going to save the world with Dr. Oobleck. Okay, yeah, when you say it out loud, it sounds worse. Save the world? You're going on world-saving missions without us? I'm hurt, sad, maybe a little hungry. That last one's not your fault, though.
That was a weird effect.
Sounds exciting. Where are you going?
Oh, just outside the kingdom. Hey, so are we.
Ren and Nora wanted to shadow the sheriff of a nearby village.
We set out tomorrow.
Then you can party with us tonight. We're shadowing a crime specialist.
Oh,
All inner-city
I have something about Sun. Don't let me forget.
Okay. I probably will, but I'll try.
I was gonna say it in the last episode and I forgot.
Which means stuff's always exploding in junk. So we thought this might be a better way to check out the kingdom when it's, you know, normal.
Well,
4 minutes, ladies.
wish us luck.
Freaking awkward silence. Okay, bye, I guess.
I guess I just never saw you as much of a fighter.
I admit I fancy myself more of an intellectual, but I can assure you, as a huntsman, I've had my fair share of tussles.
Like the mushroom?
Those are truffles.
Like the sprout?
Those are Brussels.
My expertise in the field of history, as well as my dabblings in the archaeological surveys, our dear headmaster saw it fit to assign me to this particular assignment.
What does history have to do with this?
Why, what a preposterous question, you silly girl. Why, history is the backbone of our very society. And the liver. Probably the kidneys, if I were to wager.
And that means...
The southeast quadrant outside of Vale is home to wild forests and deep caves. But it is also the location to one of the kingdom's greatest failures.
Mountain Glen.
That's right. It was an expansion of Vale. But in the end, it was overrun by Grimm and fenced off from the rest of the city.
Correct. And now it stands abandoned. It's a dark reminder.
And a likely place for a hideout.
Ooh. Ooh.
You'll see shots in this episode that we've never seen before.
This is a very cinematic episode for sure.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching Avengers.
Ladies, you still may be students, but as of this moment, your first mission as Huntress has begun. From this point forward, you need to do exactly as I say. Do you understand? Ruby, I thought I told you to leave all your bags back at school.
But, you hadn't told us to listen to you yet. So I didn't.
Not wrong.
Yeah, you can't get past that logic.
On our return.
Well,
Young lady, what in the world could you possibly have in that bag that could be so important to bring it with?
Oh my gosh.
We're here to investigate an abandoned urban jungle teeming with death and hostility. And you brought a dog. Genius!
Genius.
Canines are historically known for the perceptive nose and heightened sense of sound, making them excellent companions for hunts such as ours.
I'm a genius.
So, what are your orders, Doctor?
Ah, yes, straight to the chase. I like it. As you've been informed, the southeast area has
My
been
God,
marked as a
that
recent
poor little
hotspot for
corgi.
activity. Now, there are several possible explanations for this behavior, one of which being Grimm.
What?
Grimm, a creature of Grimm, approximately 100 yards from us at this very moment.
What?
Whoa, that's close. Oh yeah, there it is.
Stop.
Huh?
There are a number of reasons why Grimm would congregate in this.
Look at Ruby on the right.
Most likely,
She's ready.
Negativity, sadness, envy, loneliness, hatred. All qualities that are likely held by our hidden group harboring ill intent.
So, what now?
We wait. We track. If this specimen leads us to its pack, that pack may subsequently lead us to our prey.
How long do we wait?
It's uncertain. Hours, days, weeks, Why, Lone Grin have been known to stay isolated from the pack for months, and there's the whole pack.
What?
And now they've seen us.
What?
And now they've seen us!
I take it tracking is out of the question?
An accurate assumption? Yes.
What's the plan then?
Show me what you're capable of.
Cover your ears wide.
I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
Why you're gonna see shots that you usually don't see. Oh.
Of course.
Piece of cake.
Do not celebrate yet, for I am certain this is the first bout of many. Shall we continue?
Superhero poses.
Excellent work, girls! Fortunately, there doesn't seem to be any signs of criminal operations in this sector. Oh well, moving on.
Hey Doc, you know, I was actually looking forward to seeing a pro Huntsman in action. Like, fighting, or at least helping us fight.
Ah, but I am in action, scouring the ruins of this one great city for any signs of irregularity. Not every mission is filled with daring and heroism, girls. Sometimes it's just a heightened form of extermination. Remember, this is a job, and you all signed up for it.
Well, then how about the Team RWBY does some examining and he does the fighting, since he wants to play
Yeah.
that card.
Of course.
Tell me, Yang, why did you choose this line of work?
Huh? Well, to fight monsters and save...
Oh, that is what you do. I want to know why you do it. The honest reason as to why you want to be a huntress.
The honest reason? I'm a thrill seeker. I want to travel around the world and get wrapped up in as many crazy adventures as I can. And if I help people along the way, then that's even better. It's a win-win, you know?
I see. And you, Miss Snee, a girl born into fame and fortune such as yourself certainly doesn't need the extra work. So, why choose this over a cushy job in Atlas?
It's exactly as you said. I'm a Schnee. I have a legacy of honor to uphold. Once I realized I was capable of fighting, there was no longer a question of what I would do with my life. It was my duty.
Interesting.
Poor birds.
And what about you, Blake? You seem to carry yourself with a sense of purpose.
There's too much wrong in this world to just stand by and do nothing. Inequality, corruption, someone has to stop it.
Very well. How?
That's a good point.
Why are you here, Ruby?
Sorry. Are we ready to keep going?
I'm curious
Well,
about
I
this.
believe that will have to do for today. It's going to be dark soon.
Oh, okay.
You three, set up camp in that building. Oh, and please do make sure that there are no more of those creatures. Your leader and I are going to secure the perimeter. Come, Ruby.
What is that? It looks awesome.
That, my dear girl.
Why'd you look at me like that?
I know, I'm thinking to myself, like, those are probably trees, like legit trees, as tall as.
Oh yeah, there were some big grim right there. You know?
I'm afraid your sniper rifle will do nothing more than agitate a Grim of that size.
But what if it attacks us?
Fret not, Ruby. Those Goliaths are not concerned with us.
Goliath.
Ruby, not
Pretty
every
good
Grim
name.
is mindless. Or rather, not every Grim is still mindless. You see, the Grim you see before you are so powerful, so superior to the Grim you fought, that they've undoubtedly lived hundreds of years. And in that time between killing humans and attacking our borders, they've done one important thing. They've learned.
I was about to say
They've
that. I was
learned
about to
that
finish
when
his
they
line.
attack our borders, they're likely to die. And what we lack in strength, we make up for in will. And at killing one human will only bring more.
Goddamn hands.
Then why are they still so close to the city? What are they doing?
Waiting.
Dr. Oobleck?
Hmm?
I was wondering.
Wondering why I've been interrogating your teammates all day?
Actually, I was wondering, why did you want to become a huntsman?
Look around and tell me what you see.
Lots of old buildings, empty streets.
I see lives that could have been saved. As a huntsman, it is my job to protect the people. And although I am capable of doing it with traditional weaponry, I believe I can make a much larger impact if I do it with my mind. As a teacher, I'm able to take knowledge, the most powerful weapon of them all, and place it into the hands of every student that passes through my classroom. I look at this wasteland and I see lives that could have been saved. But I also see an opportunity to study these ruins and learn from this tragedy, and therefore become stronger. I am a huntsman, Ruby, because there is nothing else in this world I would rather be.
I can't believe we didn't find anything.
Still a bitch, though.
We've
No.
always been fortunate to be in the right place at the right time. I guess we can't always have luck on our side.
That's not what I meant.
Huh?
Earlier. About upholding the legacy. There's more to it than that.
Yeah. No, me too. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either. I know what I want to do, but I figured I'd always take things one step at a time.
Well, it doesn't matter. We know why we're here. Right?
Ah, wonderful! A textbook
Do
campfire!
you?
Fire! So warm.
Very good. Eat your dinners and hurry to bed. We have a lot of ground to cover tomorrow, and we'll need you to take turns keeping watch over our temporary abode. Any volunteers for first watch?
Yo.
Hey, did Oobleck ask you why you wanted to be a huntress? I mean, what did you tell him?
No, he didn't. Weird. Oh well. Good night, guys.
Doesn't matter. See ya. Okay.
Yeah, that's not something that I think Ruby is too concerned with.
Do you imagine why it's like getting a little bit too close to her hair bursting into flames?
Don't worry. Things will be better tomorrow.
Well, shit.
Well, shit. That was a very well directed episode. I thought maybe I guess Monty directs every episode. It seems to be the case.
Yeah.
That one felt like it was helmed by somebody else. It wasn't just because of the shots, but because it kind of like the tempo, you could say.
How the pace of how things were going.
Like usually character moments and fights are separated in RWBY, and like it was almost like a montage.
Yeah.
That we got. But a lot happened in that episode, kind of, character-wise. Usually I'm just used to I don't know, I'm so used to big fights and then them sitting in class and making jokes, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of what RWBY has been for the first season, and then we've gotten a few character moments so far in Volume 2, but that was getting to learn why Blake, Weiss, and Yang were Huntress, or wanting to become Huntress. And then why Professor Dr. Oobleck, Professor, sorry. Excuse me.
I just feel like I will also get butchered by that, so don't worry.
Yeah.
We will.
I always do that with my professors too. Like I'll send an email and be like, Professor such and such, and then before I send it, I'm like, wait, let me make sure that they don't have a PhD. Because they're like super anal about that.
I mean, I understand. If you go through the 10, 12, 14 years of getting the doctorates or the PhD, you really want them to know that. Like, if they could, they would walk around with a lab coat.
For real. I am surprised and not surprised he didn't ask Ruby. I feel like Oobleck knows. He knows, or maybe
now you have some sort of like a feeling.
Like, it's not that Ruby is so much better than everyone else, but she is in a way to where like she's for being so young and being as strong as she is, it's almost like the same as him, where she can't do anything else but be a huntress, you know?
Yeah.
And so he doesn't need to ask her, and that's sort of how I feel. I still love Ruby though. Like holy shit, she makes me laugh a lot.
Yeah, no, she's hilarious. I love her. She does whenever like Nora's not around. She definitely is the one that brings the comedy in there.
Yeah, Nora's funny. I think she's actually funnier, but Ruby is like more accidentally, like indirectly funny.
Yeah, like a clumsy type of funny. Yeah. Whereas Nora is just legit. Like I'm the clown of the show.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, no, I did like it a lot. The shots, I was thinking that you were gonna catch it, but I don't know the superhero poses. I don't know if you noticed, but there were only 2 superhero poses. There weren't 4.
It was Yang and Blake, right?
No, it was Ruby and Blake.
Oh, it was Ruby and Blake. Okay, never mind.
So Yang and Wise didn't get it. I'm pretty sure they were meant to put him in there and they forgot, or they were meant to like take him away and they forgot. That's how it felt like. I did say to not let me forget, and thank God that I thought about it. So Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong. Yeah. So, like in the episode of the robot and whatnot, we had this a couple of weeks back, and this is probably like a whole month and a half for you guys that are watching. But somebody did bring up to the comments, in the comments, that the reason why there were only 2, I say shadow folks because that's usually like I'm thinking about the shadow clone jutsu. I know that they're not shadows, Nico. I know they're light forms in some kind of way.
I love that we shout him out every video. He's like our favorite.
Is that like he's the one that like comments like most often, and usually it's. Whenever you comment, guys, comment on things or on ways that we can actually like talk to you and actually keep on making conversations, because that's honestly how it all ends up being. In one of the comments right now, which I don't remember, but I'll find it and I'll put it here in the actual shot. They were saying that the reason why Sun Wukong was not kind of like a huge part in these last fights and whatever is because the engine that they were using did not allow for too much screen time with him.
That's what somebody was saying in our episode 4 reaction, I think, is that Monty he wanted 3 clones for Sun's semblance, and his engine could only run like 2.
And then the third one would immediately break the shut it down or whatever.
That is actually kind of hilarious.
It is fucking hilarious. I mean, and it's sad at the same time because I'm pretty sure, like, low-key, since Sun Wukong is this beast of, like, having multiple clones, being mischievous. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but you know what I mean.
People say mischievous and mischievous all the time. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so like so he's supposed to be like that one character that's just like obviously troublemaking and whatnot. And so I was hoping that like I would hope that some way or form we could have some sort of reboot in terms of like in a better engine of this earlier episodes, because it would have been great to see what I'm pretty sure multiple more clones will be out. I feel like he will be more involved in the fight, because the fight with the robot, going back in that same comment that you saw, the question, whenever they show off Yang doing her Super Saiyan mode, Ruby brings it up to Blake. Like, oh, that's what makes her special. But if you think about it, they've been together for months now. So she should already know what her semblance is. So it's completely unnecessary. That was actually supposed to be Neptune. But then Neptune was not able to make it that far because of the problem with Sun. So they scrapped them both from the fight.
Wow, that's interesting.
So they were supposed to be in the fight. and they weren't. And that actually is a trivia that I learned on that comment. So thank you again. I didn't know that at all. I honestly thought it was meant for it to be for Blake, and since it's early in the show, nobody actually put too much thought into it. But no, apparently it was supposed to be Neptune.
And that's too bad because we're almost done with Volume 2 and we haven't even seen Neptune in battle, really. We saw him for like a brief moment on the highway.
With a shot and then the spike, and that's it.
That's really been it.
At least we've seen Sun fight in the first season.
Yeah.
Which his fight was a great fight.
It was a really good fight.
Hence what I'm saying. Like, I wish that the engine could run it better, because I'm pretty sure that with his staff, like, a lot of crazy things can keep going in his fight scenes. So I wish they could redo this just to see that robot fight, how it was supposed to be run. That would have been great. But going back to this one, it was just a good display of like the characters' motives so far. Right now, and what I like is that the professor kind of make them think, because right at the end they're still like we know why we're here, right? Like they're still kind of like hesitant of like their own thoughts. So that's pretty good, because even as a kid and as an adult, sometimes you need to like question what you're doing and see if like it's actually what's driving you, if you had a misconception of what it is that you wanted to do, and it's gonna, you need to like aim for a different target.
Yeah, I totally get that. I enjoyed that. That's I'd say the best part of this episode was getting to learn that. And yeah.
Oh, and the Goliaths. I like those.
Yeah, that was some good lore right there. That they're
greens that actually learn.
Yeah. But what are they waiting for exactly?
I don't know. My thing is, okay, so this is a question that I do have to a degree. I'm caught up to volume 7, but it's at the same time, it's a question that alludes to this same point that was brought up. It's like some grimoires just so they learn and whatnot, and it seems like they get that big or they get that menacing. My question is, do they evolve from different grims? So from like a single grim, like a dog grim that we usually are, do they evolve to the little like to the next one, which might be the scorpion, or the next one that would be the Nevermore? Or is it just like they just become a bigger, nastier version of themselves, just like a little bit more menacing? I mean, we did watch The World of Remnant, and it did show a wolf kind of getting bigger and with more spikes, so I would assume that that's the case.
I'd say it just evolves more
of its own thing,
like species.
So most likely there's a tiny little Goliath, and then slowly becomes bigger, but it's still the same. Okay,
just like a regular elephant,
Yeah. Alrighty, but other than that, we have nothing else for this episode, guys. This was fun. It was filtered, right? No, it was something like that. Seek and Destroy. We're gonna go and see the next one. We got more to do. It's kind of hot in here, so
I need to take a little break, just a little break.
Yeah, but we'll see you in the next one, guys. Hope you're enjoying.
Bye bye.
Hope you guys enjoyed another Weebs Closet reaction. A special thanks to our Patreons. We appreciate your extra support to keep this channel going. Be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to stay up to date with our latest videos. See you in the next one.